I got a pretty crazy story right now. We got Millennium Tower in San Francisco. You guys have all probably seen this tower. It's the tower that literally is tilting, and people are kind of freaked out because who knows? One earthquake, it might even tilt and crash into the other skyscraper right across from it. We put the little Google man down on Google Street Views. Millennium Tower is honestly just a gorgeous looking building. Like, if this tower was built in New York City, 2 bedrooms would easily fetch $4 to $5 million. If this building was in like Japan, even in China, Singapore, Australia, the Middle East, you get the idea. Like a first world cities, this tower will sell for millions and millions of dollars per unit. But now you could get it at a low price of $400,000, according to a lot of Twitter users out there. You could actually buy the cheapest Millennium condo from the low $400,000. Whereas the starting price for the cheapest unit back in the old days, the peak of 2015, was easily like $1.5, $1.7 million. So this building is literally leaning, and it's pretty scary considering like that the lean is already like 30 inches, right? That may not sound a lot, but for a skyscraper like this, it's enormous. And right across the street is the gigantic Salesforce Tower. And right from that, you got Fremont Tower right here, which is another very expensive luxury condo tower. And next to this, you got like another Salesforce Tower. This is like their other office space. And right across from that, you got even more towers. So what I'm saying here is it's a very dangerous building. In fact, this is probably a very dangerous town right now. And this place is commanding a lot of very expensive real estate prices. Now, this building is supposed to be full of wealth, but now it's just completely empty. It's completely doo-doo. But this tower here, right across from it, 181 Fremont, 2 bedrooms are literally selling for like $2-3 million. So if you check out Millennium Tower here, you do see the prices peaked in 2015 with 2 bedrooms selling for $3.8 million. But now, if you check out some of the prices, 2 bedrooms are only selling for about $1 to $2 million. You can see this one, it's a fantastic unit. 1,500 square feet, 2 bed, 2 baths. And look at the prices, man. $1.3 million. That is super cheap. But I'm not sure if I want to buy into this, considering that the HOA is absolutely crazy high at almost $3,000. And of course, a sewer constantly backs up, and I don't really want to be smelling people's poop when I'm cleaning and cooking in the kitchen. So if you check out what's going on here, the Millennium Tower has a small fix, but it's not great. The residents are now foot with a massive bill, okay, out of an estimated $20 million in cost overruns in this retrofit project. And yes, they may have somewhat stabilized this, but we do have another engineer saying that a massive earthquake will probably destroy the tower, right? San Francisco is known for earthquakes, and the last time that was like super terrible was like back 100 years ago. Like the whole downtown region was completely toast. And if you go to a lot of cities that are very earthquake heavy, like for example, Tokyo, basically all of Japan, they have skyscrapers, but the skyscrapers can actually withstand huge magnitudes of the earthquakes. And I don't really think Millennium Tower could take this, right? I feel like Millennium Tower, like a gust of wind will probably send this tower in like a very scary spiral. And many residents are now foot with a $14,000 bill. You got people literally saying they're paying a bunch of money for fixes, but they can't even live in this area. And in June, there's apparently like a massive sewage backup through like the kitchen sink. And like 29 inches is huge because if it tilts that much, a lot of the pipes and drainage in the towers are getting a lot of strain on them. So the lifespan of the building has already decreased by like several decades. And you even have like window panels falling off as well. I mean, this is a very scary building to live in. Like, even if you give me this unit for free, I don't even want it because one, I can't live in this. I'm pretty freaked out about leaning towers. And two, the bills are crazy. Like, these guys are not just going to be getting a 14 grand bill and that's it. They're going to constantly be getting these massive bills. And they've been trying to fix this tower for like several years at this point. And look at this, right? It's a huge tower. And 600-foot towers like this in downtown San Francisco, they're supposed to be earthquake resistant. If not, it's very dangerous if, like, let's say a magnitude 6 or 7 earthquake hits. these towers are absolutely toast. And it's a very scary situation to think about that. You even have people in the city saying they should just tear this whole entire building down at this point because it's just poses a massive hazard. But right now, they're just going to be putting some quick fixes. And these fixes are pretty much a huge headache for many of these residents. And this really sucks for them because a lot of them spent like $1, $2, $3, $4, $5 million for some good luxury, and they're not getting any sort of luxury. And here's the funny thing about this, like right across from the Millennium Tower, like 181 Fremont, this is a tower that's built really well, and there's nothing wrong with it, and it's earthquake resistant or up to like a certain magnitude. And of course, condos here are selling for $2-3 million easy for a 2-bedroom, simply because people want it. Downtown, it's high end, it's a skyscraper, great views. So I have a feeling that the Millennium guys are definitely pretty jealous of the Fremont guys, who pretty much chose like a much better tower to live in. And the price difference is astronomical, right? You could actually see the massive price difference for Fremont and also Millennium. And even some buildings around it are selling for very expensive prices, whereas Millennium Tower, who is supposed to be the one commanding the highest price, is now commanding the lowest price. And nobody even wants these prices at all. And check this out, like I said before, $3.8 million back in 2015. Now you're selling for dirt cheap prices. And nobody is happy about that at all. And right now, with the whole entire interest rate situation, the feds are hiking their rates. I don't think anyone is buying into these towers anytime soon. And surprisingly, I did read a few articles that there's still a few people buying, right? Occasionally, there's a few people buying, but not a lot. I think some investors in the past who bought in probably regretted it by now because HOAs are eating away at their profits. They're being footed massive bills. There's several units of the Millennium Tower that are being sold for cheap. I think a lot of owners just want to get these units off their hands. They just don't want these units anymore. These are just units that literally put a massive dent in their pocket. I mean, at least having a yacht is a money pit, but you could sail the yacht around and have some fun. You can't have fun with these units, right? You can't even live in these. Many residents are pretty scared to live in these. So yeah, it really sucks. Their investment pretty down the drain. I mean, a 1-bedroom like this, a high-end 1-bedroom, back in the peak was easily like a $1.5 million unit. Now they're selling this for like $800,000. And this is really devastating for the people who bought. But then again, though, you could also say that a lot of people who bought are already multimillionaires, so this probably wouldn't really be that big of a problem. But still, though, imagine I spent $1 million or $2 million on a condo like this and I can't live in it. I'll be pretty mad myself. Let's just see what happens here. Hope the whole situation recovers as quickly as possible. At least they've stabilized the tower. Residents are not pretty happy about getting footed a 5-digit bill, but hey, it's better than a tower continuous leaning. Let's see what happens. I feel like every single month there's always some sort of news coming out for the Millennium Tower, and there's going to be more and more news as time comes. Thanks for watching, guys, and see you later.